yeah, this is going to be a stream specifically trying to stabilize what we're doing with Rust and Golem. So it occurred to me, we don't have any CI or CD set up at all. And that would be a way to make sure that if stuff breaks, we know why it's broken. Maybe one of the bits of the tool chain, one of the software, one of the pieces of software we're using to compile, or whatever it might be, but something might break in an upgrade, as has happened recently with Emscripten and Rust. And so what we need is probably something like Travis to regularly run builds on newer versions of whatever your toolchain is, and then we'll know when stuff breaks. We'll even get it to email us. That would be quite nice. Did not mean to do that. Got a tab open for that. I've also realized there's other ways of compiling WebAssembly, which now that I think about it is obvious, but it wasn't obvious till I thought about it. There's a couple of different ways to do this. So we can actually, there's a rust up command to add a wasm32 WASI target, and that actually does compile. That doesn't compile on the compression project, but it does compile on the MD5 project. And honestly, that's a lot neater than having to pull down a copy of Emscripten and compile that. So I'm reasonably happy that we've got a few more options of compiling stuff now. So without further ado, let's add this project. Cool. So this is going to need, what is this going to need? TravisCI probably. That's a shame. I just remembered I'd left my phone in the other room, so I'm not actually going to get any chat messages. Bear with me for just 1 second whilst I grab. Right, good news, everybody. I've now got my phone. I have returned. I actually see chat now as well. Couldn't before. My bad. Cool. So we've added, what have we done? Okay, so we've set this repo up with Travis. Now we just need to actually add a .travis CI file, and I'm going to borrow one actually from another project. Can't be bothered to write one from scratch. So this is one I wrote for big primes, and sorry, I just want to check I got the file name right. Travis.yml. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't have it right. Or spelled correctly. There we go, we get there in the end. So here's one I prepared earlier. Now we just take out all the stuff that doesn't matter. So we don't want to do a build. I'll walk you through this in a second. I'm just going to tidy it up first. It's quite monstrous at the moment. Do we want stages? Yes, but I'm just going to call them builds, I think. So everything can just be a part of the build stage. So we're going to build Rust nightly, always Rust nightly. You know what, actually, maybe some won't be Rust nightly, now I've said that. Do we want to install wasm pack? Probably not. So this file over here, I have kept a copy of some of the commands we were using to compile stuff. So we don't need that. We don't need that. Cargo clean is good. Clean down the. You know what? It might not be this simple. I don't think it will be. We'll need to build one of these, probably for each individual project. Yeah, so if I go up a directory, this Travis file should actually be in the root of the project. Yep, I'm sure. Yeah, what this means is we're going to have we're actually going to have multiple jobs within Travis, so that's fine. The first one is going to be, let's do the one that we know works, right? So MD5 recursion, we know that one builds. What about the Travis directory? Yeah, get rid of all of that. And I guess potentially just run all of this, but instead of wasm32 unknown, we were looking at wasm32 wasi. Everything along a bit. Can't decide if I like this formatting or not, but good enough for now. And then yeah, potentially we could run, you know what, we could run the same thing again, right? We could say we want to run it on nightly, we want to run it on beta, and we want to run it on stable. Hang on, I took out too much. Stable. We don't technically have code coverage at the moment. We probably should have code coverage. So install can go. This gets a bit trickier actually. I'm already regretting having multiple Rust projects in the same repo. I think I'm going to go with it for now, but I think we might want to rethink the way we're doing this project. We definitely don't need a deploy stage. Email. I do want it to email me, but I want it to email me when it fails, so we'll update that in a second. So builds unstable. Probably fine. Probably fine. Do we want to keep code cover? Not at the moment. We don't even have any unit tests, right? We can add that in. We can add that in later. And let's have a quick Google for TravisCI email notification. Felt near enough. Oh, okay, so we can probably do email on success. But actually it becomes on failure. And therefore I'm guessing on success can be never. That might be enough just as an initial go. Don't need pip either. We don't need to cache that because we're not installing Python. OS Linux. You know what? I'd really like it to mimic my local environment. So I'm going to go with Ubuntu. I have that. TravisCI Ubuntu. Bionic. Distribution Bionic. So I think we can just say that. Yeah, go up a directory. Oh no, we're in the right place. So git status. Now you know what else we need? Yeah, I feel a bit better with the Starship font. Font. Why do I keep calling it a font? Prompt. Or shell. That'd be better, wouldn't it? Hang on a second. ls. golem-tasks. Doesn't see. Oh, right. ls minus lha, and then it would probably give us. Yeah, all the dot files are missing. Fine. So we can say git add or git status. Okay. Git commit Travis. Did not match any files known to Git. That's because I didn't add it first. Now it's added. Commit messages are important, right? So we are adding the initial untested Travis YAML. Let's push that up. And then scoot on over to here. We should see a few things actually. The first is if I go to GitHub and over to our golem-tasks over here, commits, we should see, yeah, now we've got a little build symbol. Their build is going to happen. No build? Oh, there's a build. Okay, cool. First ever build. We're running on AMD 64 and we're running against Rust Nightly, Rust Beta, Rust Stable. And this is almost certainly not going to work the first time round, but oh, that's fine. We'll just fix it. We'll iterate, right? Okay, so we're just setting up the initial environment. I say we, I mean Travis is doing it for us. Installing Rust for us. Some of this I think will be cached the next time round. Could not find a cargo.toml file. That is very true. This is where I think we might run into problems. So we've actually got two separate projects within this. So, all right, time for me to learn about cargo subprojects. Cargo subprojects. Subproject dependencies. Structure a project with cargo, yeah. Servo as an example. That's interesting. Okay. 5 years ago. Okay, and they've given an example. Doc opt. I go to cargo.toml here. Thing is, there's a source file, right? Whereas we're not going to have a source file at the top. I don't want to build them all individually. Is this a terrible way to do things? Would it be better to have a separate repo for each of these? What we could do, have a look at just one of the cargo files. So we could just create a. Let's see what happens actually. If we just create one of these, this one actually, let's copy it, move it to the root of the project. Get rid of the dependencies because reasons. I'm going to call this. We're going to call this cargo. Cargo? No. What am I doing? Golem-tasks. And I'm pretty sure this will error out because it'll say there's no source file, there's nothing to compile. What are you doing, and why are you trying to do it this way? That's going to moan because we don't have it added. Added top level cargo toml file for Travis. Or maybe I should read that error before I commit that. So what's it erroring on? It's erroring on running cargo check, but we didn't cd into a directory. So I'm going to cancel out of this. On DD. Okay, how do I get rid of it all? Manually. So actually, before I add this, what if instead we modified Travis to I think it should CD. It's in Travis home. Then we should go into, I'm even contemplating if we need this GWASM folder. I don't think that's necessary either. I think we need to go into here. Then we can have it wipe stuff out. This should work. Do the same here. That'll be in the right directory. And then I'm going to have to do it to all the other places. fine. Bear with, bear with. What did we add? We added that. And we added that here, 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 and here. Stuff. Go clean. What do we do? Cargo clean. Oh, we added a CD on the front of that. Quick sanity check. I think that's probably fine. Well, only one way to find out. Git commit Travis. Corrected paths. Good build. MD5 recursion. Push that up. That was pretty quick. Pick that up straight away. Cool. So basically, if we can get them building in here reliably, then whenever I break something locally, we've always got something to go back to. This is how it was working. Check out nightly. Chance that one made it quicker. Stable did actually win. And it tried to download a cache as well. Didn't find one. Errors again. So Travis home /gwasm /md5 recursion spelt correctly. Why would that be? That get upset. What if I said Craig test equals 3, and then I tried to CD to just want to check I've got the syntax right. No such file or directory, which is the same as doing cd3/5. Okay, so that should be fine. Home Travis. Oh, look at that. We're possibly missing. Should have pulled a copy of the project though at this point. MD5 recursion, MD5 recursion. File or directory. Hide compression for a minute. Hang on a second. Travis build directory. That's different. Should it be Travis build directory? That's so right. So actually, some of these. So the .cargo one should have been left alone. Yeah, so I think this one I shouldn't have updated. My fault. Same for this one, because it's working with cargo across the whole system. Then these should probably have been build directory, build directory. Build, this should be build. That should have been build, that should have been build. Right, let's try that. Git commit Travis corrected build DRL paths. Travis was failing quickly. Push that up. Huh. Thanks for the sub. Much appreciated. I think that makes you the first sub. Right, with that push, let's head on up to... You know what that also means? It also means I have no sound coming out of these headphones. I've just realized, because that should have made a bit of a racket. Did it make a sound on stream at all? Made a good noise. Okay, cool. I'm not going to try and debug my sound right now, but yeah, definitely something up with it. As long as you can all hear it, that's the main thing. Stable winning. Stable might be winning. Step one's getting a good build. Of course, I'm getting all the emails now. Every time this fails, it's emailing me, which is what we asked it to do, right? Failing as intended. Cool. Okay, this is looking a bit better now. So now it's going through and it's actually trying to compile our project. Great. And then, of course, it's saying, what on earth is this? I don't know how to compile that. If I go back through our history, oh, I'll add it manually. It's fine. So I wonder if there's a special place for adding Rust targets, or if we should add that. Maybe that's just before cache or part of the script. Let's do it as part of the script. So Rust up target, add wasm32, and it's wasm32 -wasi. And we're going to need that in every single case. So let's put that in. Put that in. We're glad to see things up and running. Yeah, things are hopefully going to be stable this evening. I'll call this added Rust up target wasm32-wasi. Let's not push that yet, actually. Let's just double check. Maverick says, what are we building? We are building, what are we building? We are building a wasm compiled something, in this case, simple compression tool, and some weird MD5 recursion thing that just creates work for itself. The idea being we're going to then deploy them on the Golem network, so they'll be distributed out to people. Did you get what you wanted, by the way? I can see you did a bang commands. Is that the right? I think that's probably the right terminology. If not, I'll sort out the bot and get you what you need. Check if anything else errored. So couldn't compile. Can't find crate for core. I think this is just mainly erroring over and over again for the same reasons. Fine. So yeah, let's push that. What CI? So this particular project we're using Travis. Might use some circle at some point as well. Any particular preference or one you'd recommend? I kind of want to use a few different ones because it's great that they offer, you know, free builds for open source projects, but keep thinking, you know what? It'd be better to spread that load across different providers. You haven't got one you recommend? Is that, do you hate them all equally, or? Other one will win. What seems comfortable? Yeah, yeah, I'm quite comfortable with TravisCI. That's my, I think that's my comfortable CI of choice. Circle CI does a lot more, but adds to the complexity quite a bit. And one I haven't looked at, but everyone, when I say everyone, people keep nudging me and saying, you know, you should look at AWS's CI tools. This, okay, so does not have the, that's fair enough. Okay, so we don't have console error panic. So that's fine, we can just get rid of that. We can do that for each of these. So I added these as a copy and paste from another project. These were for client-side WebAssembly, but we're doing server-side WebAssembly, so I think they might be related to that. And we can say we removed Rust feature. Yeah, push that up. Got a sea of red at the moment. I'm feeling good about this one. I reckon the odds are 50-50. Place your bets. Oh, okay, we've slowed down. Maybe we're being throttled for all the builds. Ah, there we go. What is that emoji? Oh, it's the robot. Cool. What's the robot for? Is that you placing a bet of one robot? Oh no, you sent me a bit. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not getting any sounds. I don't know why. Should be working. Ah, hang on. I have a theory. Bear with. I think this might fix the sound. Yeah. Cool. All right, I'm feeling reasonably confident that that's fixed the sound. Hey, and it built. Now we're talking. Look at that, green. Everything's green. I'm okay with that. 40 seconds for a build as well.
Sound test.
Yeah, okay, the sound's not working. It's fine. I get a visual alert on my thing, so I'll just keep an eye on it. Brilliant. So we can now compile the WebAssembly and get alerted if it doesn't work. Good. In a word. And we don't need this toml thing either. I thought we did, but we don't. So what? Get rm cargo.toml. Yeah, okay, that's looking better. So the next thing to do would be, we've got these building on the different versions of Rust. The next thing is, it would be cool to build these and say how we're compiling. So at the moment we're compiling via this WASM compilation target. But I want to add another one, but it doesn't tell me that. Let's have a look how we do that. TravisCI. I guess it's just the name of the machine, right? Yeah, we got that. That's fine. How do we name the machine? Got a feeling it uses environment variables for the machine names. Yeah, there, where it says no environment variable set. So what we want to do is search for environment. Those. Okay, so I can put an env in there. So something equals something. I think we could say task equals, in this case, MD5 recursion. See if this works. What if we could create a matrix? Okay, I'm just going to put it in lazily for the moment. Let's just see if it works. Maybe we're a little too lazy. Have I done that? I've got them the wrong way around. Let's move this one. Because I think the most important one is, you know what? Let's just leave that. It's fine. It's fine as it is. break nothing. Put this over here. So we're adding environment variable for the job name, specifically for the golem job name. Yep. This one, we won't even need to wait for it to build. We will know immediately if this works. Because we'll be able to go here and we'll be able to see, fine. Okay, that's looking good. So next up is it mentions something about matrices. Naming jobs with matrices. Yeah, good one. Build matrix. I kind of want a matrix of environments. I mean, that's exactly what I'm after. But they seem to be, they're including it in a slightly different way. Okay, that's all right. The other thing we could do, I'm trying to think of the quickest way to do this. What if we took Rust out of here and we had nightly? So basically I just want to cut down on the code just briefly before because otherwise if I add this other project, if I add compression to it, we are going to duplicate all of this, and I don't want to duplicate 80 lines of code, 70 lines of code. That's way too much. So can I have beta, can I have stable, and then if I take Rust out of here entirely, then I get rid of this and this, and then we can say we're committing this, and we moved Rust versions into, I guess it's a global matrix, right? Up, down. On, what do we call these? Jobs. Job definitions. Push that. We should then see. Again, we'll know instantly if this fails. Well, that looks pretty good. Apart from the fact that we've got different stages. Where's it getting test from? Ask equals 75. It must default to this. Stages name equals build. What else could we do? Maybe we're not going to have stages. So if I took out stages entirely, move stages. So I'm hopeful that this top one will disappear, because I only want to build these three at the moment. I kind of want those to merge. Might even cancel that build, actually. Yeah, let's cancel that build. Go up to 8. What? Okay. What if I ditch this stage entirely? We'll call it test. Renamed build stage to test stage. Fine. Push that up. Cancel that because would have been quicker if I hadn't refreshed it. Fine. Sort of. Again, that hasn't specified. I want to create a matrix environment. TravisCI matrix environment. Oh, it's that simple. We just duplicate it. Well, I say simple. That's not necessarily that. That's not obvious to me. So we can have task equals MD5 recursion, and then now I want to add the second job, compression. Tempting environment matrix. Completely failed. Most of these did. Could not find cargo toml. Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. That one worked. The MD5 recursion. Build history. Cool. Task compression. So I think what this is now saying is we want that. Then we would get probably precisely the right number of tasks. Or the, yeah. Removed extra builds. Rust back trace. It's not a typo, really, is it? Backtrace. Syntax. Go with syntax. Push that online. And then we're almost there, right? For our stable CI, we're not far off. Cancel all of those builds. Do Travis a favor. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think I might swap these around so that the task is the first thing we see. Swapped environment vars for ease of viewing. TravisCI. So down all of those. Okay, this one. I've got a good feeling about this one. Okay, that's pretty readable. Somehow we end up with 4 task equal. What? How have we ended up with 4 of those? We've ended up with an extra nightly. Not sure why. Maybe we shouldn't have the stage. Removed specific stage name. True. That is exactly what we did. Cancel that. Okay, I'm really going to let one of these build. This gives us... Still gives us 4. This one comes out with 4 compressions and 5 recursions. With 2 nightlies. Why? Don't worry about it for now. We might have to worry about it if one of these always fails. Why is it that now that I'm ready to have a look at the output, there we go, that it didn't want to build? Couldn't find cargo toml. Well, that's fair enough. What about one of these other ones? I'll tell you what, whilst that's doing its thing, let's crack open Notepad. Fine. Crack open, is it worth opening up Golem? Yeah, I think it is. If we can get one of these jobs going. Might as well just turn that down to 0. Hang on. This installed a bunch of components. And that was all it did. Could not find cargo.toml. Okay, then that's going to ask for a password. That's fine. Like that. Yeah. Log in. Now we'll copy literally anything else. Clear the keyboard, clear the cache, clear the clipboard. There we go. Let's let that do its thing. Could not find cargo toml. Is that because I deleted? No, I never added cargo toml. So why is that now suddenly so upset? Not running these? Let me see if I can find I'm gonna find like a bog standard environment. Where am I gonna find one of them? We just want a complete example. maybe I don't need jobs include. This be acceptable? That might solve it. Removed job syntax entirely. Possibly at our own peril, but let's find out. Hang on a minute. We've got the right number and everything. Oh, I've got a good feeling about this one. Oh, I've just realised I must have... At the chair. Could be the chair. Oh, it's my arm. Freaking out all the lights. None of these started yet. No, not a single one. Right, it'd be cool if this works. If it does, then I'm going to deploy something to I was going to say to Golem, but that is looking super upset, isn't it? Before adding tasks, please make sure Golem is started and connected to the network. All right. Well, let's debug you. Okay, this is looking all good, by the way. See how those are getting on. Yeah, so if I have a look in the Golem logs, it hasn't been written to today, so it must just be this one. Docker machine failed to update. Okay, that's a reasonably easy fix. So we kill Golem. Sorry, Golem. Gotta go. Moving too much. And gently help them off to sleep. There we go. And PowerShell. I think it was, yeah, Docker machine. Oh, there it was. That one. So that will, yeah, that's fine. So that will kill off the Golem container. No, I don't want to close the tabs, actually. That's a good point. Let's try opening this again. I'll let this get a bit further this time. This is looking pretty good, isn't it? All green. One to go. Yeah, it's looking very good. And I've just thought, actually, this cargo build really should be, I searched the history for this. this is the command that we've been using. So I think it should just be this. Build a release version, be verbose about it in case something breaks. Yeah. So cargo now builds. Is it cargo Rust C or was it just Rust C? Hang on a second. Search for Rust C. It's cargo Rust C. Fine. All good. So yeah, so now builds WASM 32. And that's for release as well. Copy of that. Cool. That should give us, yeah, a completely green build and then another one. Great. See how Golem's doing. Golem's after a password again. Fine. Open that screen. No, and he's leaked his password. Oh well, we'll see how long that lasts. Because I moved the Golem log onto this screen, isn't it? Although it won't actually. That's why it's not happy about me dragging it onto the other screen. There it goes. It's a good point. If the password's leaked but the private key isn't, I bet it won't take long. I bet someone will be in there before long. Grab a copy of the password anyway, log in. Oh, it's still pulling the Docker image, so it's going to take a little while. Those are all looking pretty good. Still pulling Docker images. Well, whilst that's doing its thing, I guess we could. So I had an untitled here. There it is. Yeah, so we could add another. We could add another build, right? Or another kind of build. So I've been building with mscripton as well. In a bit of a mixed bag. The devs over there are super helpful, but having some issues with it. I think we're going to want an if statement in here. Pulling this down. Here, I think, is where we want it. Let's make a note of that for now. I think where I can get an if statement from. I think there must have been one in the original Travis document that I started with. Copy from here. I think it was in the deploy. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's not so bad. That. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. Shift that up another. How are we doing? Still pulling Docker images. Not pulling them particularly quickly, is it? Yeah, so then what I was going to do is instead of having this checking Travis, we could have it checking task. And if the task is set to depression, actually, hang on a second. Maybe, no, let's have, let's call it compiler. Let's add another one. So this can be compiler is the one that we've just been using, this WASM32. And then we could say, just for MD5, we're going to say all right, that's looking a bit better now. That's starting to connect to things. Well, there we go. If somebody figures out what to do with that password, there's they're going to nick $40 worth of stuff. Hopefully they won't. Guess that means I placed a value on the stream, because I could stop the stream now and shift that cache, but see how long it lasts. So yeah, this we want to change to be mscripton. I can't believe chat's been totally silent whilst that happened, unless you're all furiously logging into Golem or trying to work out what to do with that info. Yeah, so we're going to say if task, but it's not task, it's compiler. If compiler is an else. Is this the syntax for an else? Sounds about right. Let's try that. That looks, yeah, maybe that's right. Okay, that's connected now. 32. So now we can add these compiles into the right place. So importantly, cargo check, I guess. We care about cargo check. I feel like we probably don't actually. But let's put it up here anyway. Then we can take both of these will sit outside of the if statement. They're not WASM specific. This rust up command can sit inside of there. And all of these sit inside of here. They're all WASM32 WASI specific. cargo test we can put up here. That's not specific. Golem doing, still there, good. Cargo check, cargo check. Oh yeah, we need to add another target, don't we? That's in Untitled. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Add that manually. So rust up. Add target. Quite simply, it's this. I'm gonna check the if else logic. If else, this is a shell command, right? If then else. What about else if? If then else if. Check that that's good. Ah, elif, of course. Then there's a then, right? Yeah, there's a then. All right. That looks like that will compile for WASM32. That would work for mscripton, except there's one additional thing it needs to do. That's that it's going to have to grab a copy of this. And I think, can it just do a git pull from within inside? But that's definitely going to break, right? So I'd expect half of the builds to work, half of them to break. But that's okay. This we could. Yes, we're gonna have Travis build directory or just Travis. Is Travis home? We could pull this to Travis home. cd Travis home. Then we're going to want to pull a copy of emsdk. Emsdk. Doing still good. Yeah, let's just run that. I think that's going to be easier. So git clone emsdk, cd into that directory, then install the latest, activate the latest, set up some environment variables and something. Then add the target, then compile. I feel like we're going to have to CD back to the right place though. We're not CDing to the right place. Yeah, here we go. So this is going to want to CD to the right place afterwards. Be there. And then the other thing that's worth saying is that the task is actually where we want to be CDing in a lot of these places. So wherever we mention MD5 recursion, we actually want to mention $task. Base. Yep. 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 Okay, that'll probably work. Git commit. I mean, it's basically rewritten, right? Rewritten to support 2 methods of compiling WASM. Let's push that, see what we end up with. in the meanwhile, I'm actually going to set a golem task going. I'm going to do that. I've just got a Word document on another machine with the commands to do that. So I'm going way back in the history trying to find this. Can't be that long ago that I ran a task. Maybe it was. No, I found it. Found it. So I think it was definitely don't want this to run. Okay, cool. I want to change the target on this. This becomes WASM32 WASI. And CD to the right place as well. For the moment, I'll just shortcut that actually. Let's CD to GW and MD5. Okay, so this is going to go to the right directory. We are going to run cargo rustc to build it. Then we're going to copy from the target directory. Well, that doesn't look quite right. WASI. So it's not compression, it's MD5. And we're going to copy it to, it says in. 5 recursion. Okay, well it broke, not unsurprisingly. Cool. Okay, so that's got a full path now. Right, now why is it erroring? Linking with Rust LLD failed, exit code 1. Cargo clean. Really? Okay. It was working earlier, could not compile MD5 recursion. Alright, let's just check the history because I definitely had this compiling, I think at the beginning of this stream. So, can't be too far away, right? In fact, I am going to search for WASI. Alright, what's the difference then? So, cargo rustc, yep. WASM32, yep. Release, yep. Ah, what's all this nonsense? Let's get rid of this. There we go. Okay, so if we look in, we should see, if we look in the right in, we should see our WASM file. Cool. And if we look in tasks, we should see, why is that still called prime? That's so out of date. So very out of date. MD5 recursion. And that's happy. Should be able to CD here. There we go. Oh yeah, we're actually on Windows now, aren't we? So we can just do that. Oh, come on. Don't like my line endings? Oh no, hang on. Windows, that's what it needs. And if I search in task, I think we can just do this. That'll error because we need to be in task. Go up a directory. No, not that directory. cd task. Yeah, there we go. Let's run this. Let's run this. Okay, so now we should have a job running. Good. Well, at least we know we're sending some cash to someone right now. Subtasks. That's surprising. Why is that then? Did I ditch the subtasks? No, there's still 5 subtasks. What's going on with that? Waiting for computation. Just copy that properly. All right, that's new. What if we just do tasks list? Oh, maybe because it's not started yet, it hasn't broken it up into separate subtasks. Cool. Seems like it's taking a lot longer than usual. Hang on. That worked. I totally wasn't expecting that to work. We definitely pushed. We did. We definitely committed. We did. Okay. Okay, this even pulled down a copy of Emscripten. Maybe this is not running. Maybe that's why it's quite happy. What's this? Too many arguments. Line 243. There's line 110 of Travis. It's saying too many arguments. There's not that many lines. Travis functions, too many arguments. What's got too many arguments? Hang on a minute. There's 2 closed square brackets there. There's only 1 there. Unbelievable. Guess we better fix that. This one too. And let's commit that. Fixed brackets. If there's got any jobs. Really? 100% failure? All right, we'll wait it out. We'll see what happens. Maybe someone will pick up the job and it won't be a fail.